After an abandoned Pastel fox was rescued, she found love in the unlikeliest place. Zoe the fox had lived a solitary life at Tirart Wildlife Sanctuary for some 4 years, but one day in 2016, a fox who looked almost exactly like her came to stay. This new guest was called Frodo. Tirart is a sanctuary in Germany that helps to rehabilitate and care for a variety of animals. In fact, the organization's name actually translates from German as Animal and Species Protection. According to Tirart, Zoe came to the sanctuary in 2012 after being rescued from a fur farm. These kinds of farms are designed to rear animals in order to collect their fur and sell them for profit. In fact, a 2002 British Fur Trade Association report on fur farming actually stated that there were 6,000 fur farms across various EU countries. The same report also estimated that animal fur raised in the EU brought in more than a staggering $5.5 billion in revenue between the years 1999 and 2000. Perhaps unsurprisingly, PETA is just one organization that campaigns to see fur farms consigned to history. The nonprofit describes fur farms on its website as being dismal, often filthy places where thousands of animals are usually kept in wire cages for their entire lives. The specific conditions of the fur farm that Zoe the fox inhabited are, however, unknown, as are the details around her rescue. But one thing of note that we do know relates to the color of Zoe's coat. Zoe's particular coloring is extremely rare and is not something that you're ever going to see in the wild. And while this certainly makes her special, it is also a reminder of her life on the fur farm. Zoe lived on her own in an enclosure with the sanctuary for quite some time. That is, until the arrival of a fox named Frodo in 2016. And the amazing thing about Frodo was that he too sported a pastel-colored coat, just like Zoe. Unlike Zoe, however, it seems that Frodo was not once part of a fur farm. Instead, Tirart believes that he had been a privately owned pet. Unfortunately, there are still breeders on the internet who advertise pastel foxes as exotic pets. Tirart site manager Florian Iserlo explained to the Dodo via a statement. Yet if Frodo had been somebody's pet, Iserlo said his owner had simply abandoned the fox in 2016, for it was during that summer that the animal was seen stalking people's houses and yards around the Donnersberg area of Germany. Reportedly described as a dog-fox-like animal by locals, Tirart has stated that nobody initially wanted anything to do with the fox. Somebody, however, must eventually have had the presence of mind to alert the authorities. That's because it apparently only led to the first in a series of failed rescue attempts. In fact, Tirart revealed that a number of shelters or sanctuaries tried to trap Frodo during this period. Fortunately, this group was able to capture Frodo and get him off the streets. Tirart wrote that the fox was ravenous when he was first trapped, and so Wilderheif Kauserslauten fed and nursed him back to health. Interestingly, the caption explained that the fox wouldn't immediately be introduced to Tirart's other pastel fox Zoe. In fact, it seems that the plan had been to wait a few weeks before arranging a meeting between the pair. Although Tirart didn't say so explicitly, this might have been because foxes are territorial by nature. Foxes have been known to fight for territory, particularly if two males are trying to move in on a female. You see, the day after Tirart placed Frodo in the enclosure next to Zoe, staff found the two foxes snuggled close together through the wires, and so it seemed inevitable that these two pastels would get along. Apparently, the foxes have been the best of friends ever since. What are the odds that Zoe, a fox initially brought to Tirart from another country, and Frodo, a fox that was kept by humans and later abandoned, would find one another? Isirlo added, "We hope that these two will have a long, happy life together." And as Zoe is apparently only around 7 years old, while Frodo is a spritingly 4, that could be very well the case. There was more good news for Frodo and Zoe in July 2018, too. During that month, Terart moved the pair out of their original enclosure into a brand new one. If you fancy visiting Frodo and Zoe, though, be aware that their home is not a zoo or a wildlife park. In fact, guests can only visit Terart during certain opening hours, and there must be a member of staff on hand to guide.